Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Creative Warrior online programs powered by Vidyadan. Yes, we are back with an amazing session on photography. When we talk about photography, at times we think it's just clicking pictures, but you are not just clicking pictures, you are creating memories and you are just trying to save those memories forever with you. Now, to tell you about the power of imagination, the power of camera, and how imaginations can be, uh, you know, uh, more powerful and more glorious when you have a camera in your hands with Miss Kirandeep. Kirandeep is a very wonderful and a versatile personality, an entrepreneur who laid the foundation of Kirandeep photography. She wishes to see this lovely world differently and proudly believes that she can make you fall in love with yourself. Born and brought up in Chandigarh, a computer science graduate, national player of cricket, music lover, and she loves to document stories of people through pictures. How can we miss the her favorite chai that she loves? So I think that's the chai power that give her the wings. Now she nurtured herself with the ethics of professional photography so well and was showered with the chances of working with Punjabi music industry's big names. That includes singer Amrinder Singh, Amrinder Gill, and many more. There is a lot I can talk about Kiran, but let's invite her and let's welcome her here. Kiran, you're most welcome to Creative Warrior Online programs.
Thank you so much. Thanks for such a warm welcome. And I hope I'll do justice to your time and your energy. So let's start with the session.
Yes,
Today,
you have the rights to share your screen.
sure.
Guys, you can send in your questions in the chat window and questions in the Q&A and chat in the chat window. Plus, yes, we know there was a little glitch and but Kiran has been a warrior. She stood strong. She said, no, when we have given a commitment, we will go for it. So, really salute Kiran for this. And now the session is over to you.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Even though there was a technical issue that we faced, but it's okay. This shows and this teaches us how to be patient. Whenever life throws you lemons, make a lemonade out of it. So let's start with the session. I would like to share the viewpoint of a professional. Like if we talk about any naive person and someone who is not a professional photographer, and what differentiates them from a person who is just an amateur. So I would like to share how a professional thinks, how they envisions their ideas, and how they convert them into a real picture. So let's start with the session. I would like to share a different composition rules that you can apply them if even if you are a mobile phone user and you click pictures using your mobile phone only, irrespective of the fact whether you own a DSLR camera or not, you can still make beautiful pictures. And people have clicked award winning pictures only by using their mobile phones, and that's a big thing. So let's start with the session, and I would like to share basic composition rules that you can apply wherever you want, and that will show you how to compose and frame a picture beautiful in order to get desired results, and results that look like a professional pictures or award winning pictures. So I would like to share uh, some of my a glimpse of my work, what I have done already. So these are some of my wedding work. I am a wedding and fashion photographer, and that's how my work looks like. I'm really fond of capturing portraits, and this makes me so happy to see an other person, because what generally happens is we ourselves don't like our own pictures, but when a client says that we are in love with our pictures, that makes me utmost happy. So this is some of my pre-wedding work, and this is my personal favorite. a bond that a child and mother have. It's being captured so beautifully and so gracefully that really this is my one of my favorite pictures. This is my fashion work. So I do mix of all the things. I like to shoot still photography as well, but capturing people's and real emotions is my calling, I feel, and that makes me so happy. So this is some of my work. So I'll quickly go forward with it. Okay. So let's start with this, the main thing that you are here to learn for. Um I'll I'll I won't say that I'll teach you. I'll just share few of the tips that you can use in order to create beautiful pictures. So we will learn about various composition rules. Even if you are clicking a picture using your mobile phone, make sure to use these composition rules in order to create beautiful rules. Firstly, we will start with a rule of thirds. A rule of thirds says that whenever you frame a picture, try to keep your subject on these intersection points or on these intersection lines. So these are the grid lines that you can make on your mobile phones also. After you go in a settings, there you have grid lines. You can turn them on, and you can start clicking those beautiful pictures. Let's learn how to use rule of thirds. So I have already mentioned that you need to keep your subject on these intersection points. How you will frame a picture? See, these are few examples that I have came across over internet, and these are the pictures that are clicked by a lot of renowned people, a renowned artist. So there they have kept the main subjects on these grid lines. These grid lines are also available in your cameras. You just need to turn them on. So see, this is how you will make a beautiful picture. Even if you are clicking a picture by your mobile phone, you can keep your main subject, that is your flower, on these grid lines. Again, rule of thirds. So this particular picture shows you that you can also click a picture from a totally different point of view. See, in this image you will see that you have always seen animated movies like Bugs Life. There you can see the viewpoint of a bug, how they see a world. So this is how an ant will look at a flower. This is that point of view. So you can also change your point of view. So here they have kept the main subjects on these grid lines. Also, just make sure, like in this image, you have kept the main subject on these grid lines. Also, you have kept in mind that you need to keep those horizon lines on these grid lines. See, you can keep a horizon line on this grid line, or you can decrease the amount of that sky have, and you can keep your land on this line. For example, in this image, the land is being kept on the above line. So this is how you can capture your landscape images. Similarly, in this, the horizon, where those two things are being separated, the sky and the land is kept on those horizons. Similarly, also keep in mind, whenever your subject is looking at any certain direction, make sure to leave a space in that direction only. Even for example, if I'm looking here, try to leave a space in this direction. Even if I'm sitting, even if I'm looking here, you can keep your head in this direction and leave a space here. And if I'm looking here, you can keep me in this intersection lines, and you can leave a space here. Always leave a space where a person is looking. So these are few examples how you can use. You can see here that these grid lines are used in cinematography as well. You watch movies, different movies, there they also keep these rule of thirds in mind. So this is how you can capture beautiful image. You can also use these techniques in a cinematography. Even if you are a videographer, you can use these techniques. You must have watched these movies. And even if you are capturing a close-up image, you can keep their eye on those intersection points. Can you see this? These are the techniques. You can also click a picture, a very normal looking picture, but if you want to create some mystery, if you want to create those exquisite images, you just need to focus on these rules, and that will like deliver you incredible images. See, these are few examples. Here we have two main subjects. The one is this primary subject and the one secondary subject. So they have kept these both subjects on the grid lines as well as on intersection points. Now, next comes the framing. How to frame your picture. See, just keep in mind that all these rules are applicable even if you are using a mobile phone or a DSLR camera. So you just need to keep all these composition rules in mind, and you can create beautiful images. The next one comes is framing. Framing refers to using elements of a scene to create frame within a frame. In this image, what can you see? Uh, there is a red circle. That person, that artist have kept it as a frame. It used it as a frame. So in next picture, here a mirror is acting like a frame. Leaves are acting like a frame. So you can create beautiful images just keeping this rule in mind. Here water is a frame, a window is a frame. See, if a person, a amateur person has to capture this image, he will simply go forward and just click the mountain area. But if you want to be a professional, and if you want to stand out from the crowd, you just need to go backward and just see what element you can use in nature which can act like a frame. In this image, in this particular image, the flowers are acting like a frame. So this is how you can think out of the box and create exquisite images. A frame within a frame. In this, you can see multiple frames. For example, this white lines are frames, then again the black ones, and again a small window. This is called as frame within a frame. And next image we have this waterfall. Even if I had to capture this image, I would have gone forward and just captured the waterfall. But what he has done, this particular artist has done, he has gone backward in a cave and acted it like a and kept it like a frame, and then click the image. And that will see, and any image which is interesting is only if a person keeps, if you can keep a person or a viewer for 2 to 3 seconds to your image, that how they have captured this image. The next one, if you are if you had to like capture this image, even myself must have gone forward, and I have never thought of this idea. So this is how you can frame your pictures. This again, see how beautiful frames, the windows, the doors, you can use all these elements as a frame. This image was a scene from a war area, and you can simply tell it by watching this image that this is a war area scene, and how beautiful they have captured the destruction as well as a subject that was influenced and impacted by that uh, destruction. See, what a beautiful frame. Her arm is acting like a frame, and these lines are acting like a frame. This person is the main subject. So this is how you can frame your pictures. and this image, we would have gone forward and clicked just a person in uniform. But look at this, how beautiful they have captured through the frame. Again, a perfect example of framing. Now comes the repetition of patterns. In this image, you will see various buildings are acting like a repetitive patterns. So this is how you can use patterns as they are repeating in a frame. You just need to fill the frame completely. I will share more examples of repetition of patterns. Even if you are not being able to capture this much area, you can simply crop this area later in post or later in your mobile phone. Just keep these rules in mind. Again, the repetition of patterns, you will see again and again that what exactly is this, then you will realize that yes, these are cars. So how beautiful they have used this repetition of patterns. Again, the repetition of lines as patterns, they have kept the main subject in the center, and these lines are the repeating patterns, and these are also called as leading lines. I will discuss that in later in this webinar. Again, you can simply click this picture. We all have colors at home, we all have more repeating patterns, we have spoons at home, we have forks at home. You can click those pictures and you can post it, and they will look really appealing. Repetition of patterns. Again, repetition of patterns, you can simply crop this image if you are not being able to capture the exact thing, but you can crop it later. Again, this is an award-winning image. It was a cover shot of Net Geo, National Geographic magazine, and it is a beautiful image. Again, a repetition of patterns. These two people are doing the exact same thing. They are drinking, and he has captured this image from the down, from the lower angle, because this woman was a distracting element and he wanted to hide her in any way possible, but he somehow managed to capture that. Again, a repetition of patterns, how beautiful this image looks like. Repetition of patterns. I'm sure you must be like really motivated by this time that I need to go out and look for these interesting elements around my surroundings, and definitely you will come up with beautiful pictures. See, a vision of a professional is totally different from an amateur. That's how they think out of the box. Now comes the leading lines. Leading lines refer to a technique of composition where the viewer of your photo's attention is drawn to lines that lead to the main subject of the image. See, in this image, these are the leading lines. They are drawing our attention towards the center area. If you have placed your main subject in this area, it must have been an incredible image. And this shows how your caliber is and what exactly is in your mind. Again, the leading lines. These lines are drawing our attention towards the main subject. If if you won't think out of the box, you won't be able to capture such images. Just keep an open eye and think for elements, and just observe those elements and see how you can use them in your advantage. If you have to see these, all these rules are applicable in all fields of photography, be it a wedding photography or a pre-wedding or any modeling assignments, anything that you have to do. See, if you had to capture a pre-wedding shot for a say, in this situation, you must have kept your ob- main subject in this area, because these lines are drawing the attention towards the main subject. Again, leading lines. In this particular image, you must have seen You must be observing the other rules also. For example, just give it a thought for a second. Apart from a leading line, you can see a beautiful framing. This thing is acting like a frame in itself, and these lines are drawing its attention towards the main subject. Again, the leading line, beautiful example. Leading lines again. Now, in this particular image, you can see leading lines. Apart from that, you can also see a rule of thirds. How? He have kept the horizon of the image, and he has kept the sky less and the other interesting element in the image more. For example, he has kept the horizon line on the above grid line, and the other grid line was to be here. So this is how he has incorporated two rules of composition. The one is the rule of thirds and the second is leading lines in a single image. You can use as many rules in a single image as you can. You just look for the interesting elements. Reading lines, leading lines. The next uh, composition rule is negative space. Don't be afraid to leave negative space in your image. The negative space is any space that is unoccupied. See, if you can see these areas, these are unoccupied. And these are also known as minimalistic photography. That means a single object or a minimal objects are there in an image. There is no distraction, there is no clutter in the image. The image looks clean and there is no chaos that is going on in an image. So the next one comes is this one. It is a really beautiful image and a really heartwarming image, and kept they have left a really unoccupied space. This is called as negative space. Don't be afraid to leave a negative space in an image. And in this particular image, why he have kept this as a negative space and not here, on the other side? Because this person, the main subject, is looking at in this direction. Okay, again a beautiful example of a negative space. Negative space. If you want to leave some mystery in your images, you have to use this composition rule, because these images just makes you think that what have exactly an artist is trying to portray in his or her image. A beautiful example of a negative space. Again, the next rule comes is rule of odds. The rule of odds says that images are more visually appealing when there is an odd number of subjects. For example, if you have to capture any still life image, make sure to keep three elements in an image. For example, if I had to shoot these ducklings, try to shoot them when they are in an odd number. For example, 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. That makes an appealing image. Again, a rule of odds. 5 for an instance. 3. Just imagine this picture with two dices. Would that be really interesting? But this with three dices makes up an interesting image. Again, beautiful example of rule of odds. You must have seen these images, the one with the capsicum and tomatoes falling in water. You must have came across those kind of images, and these images have always just obeyed the rule of odds. Next comes the color theory. In a color theory, they say that use the colors that are complementary to each other. Whenever you dressed up, you try to like match your outfit with the complementary colors. If I'm wearing for say white, I will try to complement it with a complementary color like baby pink or yellow, or for say black also. So in this color wheel, this is known as a color wheel, and the theory that obeys those complementary colors is known as color theory. The use of color can drastically change the mood of your image. For say, uh, just look at this image. In this image, you can see blues, oranges, and this is a really serene image. Why so? Because cooler colors, for example, blues, greens, and purples, create a really calming image or a calming mood. So why he have kept this, or maybe he have edited this image in such a way that only these two colors are visible and all the other colors are desaturated from this image. Why so? Because you must have observed that here we have a light blue color and where here we have an orange tint. Why so? Because these two colors are opposite in a color wheel and these are complementary colors. Again, for example, in this image, the warmer colors such as reds, orange, and yellows create an energetic, happy mood. For example, in this image, you can see like in art classes as well. I'm a professional, I'm also into teaching photography. So in those classes we teach our students that how to use colors, even if you have to dress up your client, in what ways and in what colors you should make them wear those clothes. And also if you are doing a post processing, in that also we teach in Photoshop that how to edit pictures in such a way that you can use that color theory in your advantage, and how to create those visually appealing images in post processing. So it is a really vast subject. Fill the frame. The next composition rule is fill the frame. If you are not being able to capture the image following all the other rules, you can simply use this composition rule, that is fill the frame. In this, you can see that the person has gone to a great extent to really close to the main subject and he has captured her eyes. So this is how you can fill the frame. You just need to go closer to the main subject. Again, a beautiful example of filling the frame. You can also implement those this particular composition rule. If you are clicking a picture of your maybe some new blossom flower in your garden, and if you are someone who really loves nature, you can click such pictures just by filling the frame. Don't leave a space uh, around your main subject if they are distracting. I would personally use this fill the frame composition rule if I had to minimize the distraction, and if I'm experiencing a lot of distraction in my image, I will simply go closer to my subject and will fill the frame and will just ignore the entire distraction that is going around. Another way in which you can use your fill the frame is in the baby pictures. See how beautiful this image looks like. I'm personally really fond of capturing images using this particular fill the frame rule, and because they create really appealing images and really heartwarming images. Again, the next composition rule is symmetry. Symmetry means that there should be exactly same elements should be on the either sides of the frame. For example, if you in this particular image, you can see the if you divide this image from the center, another great example of symmetry. You can also capture those images. In this particular image, you can see a lot. You can see at least three rules that are going on in this particular image. For example, you can see leading lines. You can see symmetry. You can also see frame. Can you see? So how beautifully they have implemented all those three rules. Again, symmetry. Symmetry. This is an image from the wedding ceremony. This is how a symmetry looks like. If I had to like crop this image from the center, I'll have both the sides similar to each other. The next comes is point of view. Point of view is you have, whenever you are about to capture any view, just look at the possibilities, look at the angles from where you can capture that particular thing or an object. Just think about from this room and again a top angle captured from a really low angle that I already mentioned, a movie from a bug's life. So this is how an aunt would have seen a flower, and this is how that's their point of view. Lower angle, see a point of view. If uh, an aunt would have to see us, like for example, this is the main subject. If here an aunt have to see this, how would have they would have seen that main subject? So this is the totally different point of view in from their perspective. See, this is from the below of you have to keep this depth of field in mind. For example, in this depth of field means you have to create layers. In this particular image, layers. For example, this defocused flowers are one layer, and these flowers are second layer. This main subject is third layer, and the background is fourth layer. So this is differentiated in 4 layers. So they are also known as anything that is in front of a main subject. This girl is the main subject. Anything that is in front of the main subject is known as foreground, and anything that is behind the subject is the background. My frames are at the background of mine, and if I am in the center of the image, I am a midground. This girl is acting like a midground. These flowers are foreground, and those flowers in the background are background. Similarly, in this image, these little leaves are acting like a foreground, and her, she in the middle of the frame is known as background, and these leaves, the focus leaves, are the background.
लग रहा है मैंने ब्रेकअप किया.
I try to discuss only those things that are relevant to each one of you, even if you are a mobile user or a DSLR user. So I try to design our webinar in such a way that it should be beneficial for all of them. Even the ma'am would have learned a lot of things from this webinar.
I loved
Yes, ma'am.
your pictures, ma'am, and especially the point of view. That was like amazing, amazing photography. Hats off. Really wonderful.
Thank you so much, Anmi.
Although, when we look at you, such a young, versatile, small girl, and your work speaks for you. It's really amazing. Hats off. And guys, you know what? We are planning to do a Punjabi language session again with Kirandeep ma'am. So she'll be coming up, and now this time in some desi Punjabi tone with Punjabi tadka. We'll be doing
Mhm.
this next workshop with.
Yeah,
So
sure,
let
ma'am.
me see quickly what comments are we getting. I have somebody saying very nice pictures, man. Uh,
Thank you, ma'am.
Background photography. Once again, can you repeat, please? If you can elaborate on background photography again, please.
Background thing is in any image, if you want to create an interesting image out of it, just not the ordinary one, I would try to keep something in the foreground. For example, just let me give an example to you. Like these are the flowers, okay, and these are acting like a foreground. I would have kept this in my foreground just to create an interesting element. So the wall behind me is acting like a background of an image. So you have to create layers in an image, so that's how you can like create pleasant images.
Okay, wonderful. And then, although, okay, I'm getting super and very nice workshop here. And I'm getting thank you, wonderful session. I'm checking messages again on my phone also, and they're all wonderful. Abhishek Patra is saying, ma'am, very nice, thank you.
Thank you guys for joining in. And if anyone comes across any doubt, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm really active there. You can ping me on Kirandeep Photography. Simply type Kirandeep underscore photography, and I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way possible.
Absolutely. She's been wonderful, very, very polite, very, very generous, and a very, very creative girl that I've come across today. Wonderful. And yes, before we say thank you to Kiran ma'am and end the session today, I'd like to tell you about the upcoming workshops that are planned. So we are coming up with a workshop on SEO hacks tomorrow. Everybody is wondering, and now we all talk about social media handles. So uh, or the websites, how important these websites and our social media, digital media is there. So we are going to learn about SEO hacks tomorrow with Mr. Ekant Agarwal. Then we are coming up with the coming up with Udia workshop, yes, with Mr. Mihir Das. Mr. Mihir Das is a renowned actor in for Odia, and he has done work in other languages also. If I'll tell you about our upcoming sessions, maybe by end of the day, and we are going to update everything on our social media handles. So do follow us and do follow Kirandeep ma'am if you really love photography, if you love art. Do follow Kirandeep photography. It's a beautiful page.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
I just
thank
want to share one thing. I came across this one question, particular question, how to skin color. In a really short span of time, it is really difficult to discuss all the things. I tried to inculcate everything that is possible in this session only. But if you want to learn particularly to how to retouch skin or to color correct your images, you can simply go to our official application, Android application, that is Kirandeep Photography, and you can go through our various courses that are totally focused on how to color correct your images, how to retouch those images. Or you can also, you are most welcome for our offline and online courses as well. We are open for classes, and we are soon planning to open our academy as well. So that's a huge shout out to all of you for supporting us, and that's really means a lot. That's all possible because of your love and support.
And that's giving me an opportunity to connect with Kiran ma'am again, to associate.
Yeah, it's all my pleasure to be in association with such a reputed organization, and it's really a big deal for me. I'm so thankful
Thank
and
you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. We have faced so much technical issue today, but you were marvelous. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody who have shown their patience and continued with us. Although the recording will be available on the social media and on vidyadan.net as well. By next week, you will receive your certificates as well on vidyadan.net. So stay tuned for tomorrow's session. And yes, we'll see you next time. That's happening tomorrow.
sure.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
take care.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.